To update the hard drive on your PlayStation 3, you're going to require a small Phillips head screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver, a USB thumb drive, and finally a SATA 2.5-inch internal hard drive. The first thing we need to do is insert the USB thumb drive into our PlayStation 3. Now from the PlayStation 3's crossbar menu we need to go to Game and then down to Saved Data Utility PS3. When we click on this option, we're presented with the USB thumb drive and then all of the game saves that we've been making on our PlayStation 3. What we need to do is copy any of the game saves that we want to transfer over to our new hard drive. So I'm going to choose Call of Duty and choose Options, then Copy, and then make sure I select my thumb drive. The file is now copied to the thumb drive, and I have to repeat this process for any other games that I want to transfer to my new hard drive. The next step is to remove the USB thumb drive from the PlayStation 3 and insert it into a computer. We now need to visit the Sony website and download the latest firmware for our PlayStation 3. Once the firmware has been downloaded, you'll be presented with a file called ps3updat.pup. The ps3updat.pup file needs to go to a specific place on the thumb drive. You'll notice that when you browse the thumb drive that you're presented with a PS3 folder. Inside the PS3 folder there is a Save Data folder where all your game saves have been stored. We need to create a new folder called Update. We now need to place the ps3updat.pup file inside the Update folder. Now that we have the ps3updat.pup file in the Update folder, we will just quickly recap the folder structure that you should have on your thumb drive. So you should have a PS3 folder and you should have two subfolders, Save Data and Update. And inside the Update folder you should have the ps3updat.pup file. We can now remove the thumb drive from our computer and look at replacing the internal hard drive on our PlayStation 3. Now on the bottom of the PlayStation 3 you will find that there is a panel. Using the flathead screwdriver you need to remove this panel, and you'll be presented with the caddy for the internal hard drive. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the blue screw from the caddy. Once you remove the screw, lift the lever on the caddy and then pull the caddy to the right of the PlayStation and slide out. We now need to remove the hard drive from the caddy. You will see that there's a series of 4 holding screws on the caddy itself. Again, using your Phillips head screwdriver, remove each of the screws. We can now remove the old hard drive by simply sliding the hard drive out of the caddy. We now need to slide the new hard drive into our caddy. And then fix the hard drive to the caddy using the screws that we've removed from the old hard drive. When you screw in the first screw, don't screw it in too tight. This will allow the hard drive to move within the caddy and simply makes it easier for you to line up the screw holes. Now that all the screws are back in, we simply need to tighten them to make sure that the hard drive is securely fixed to the caddy. We can now fit our new hard drive to our PlayStation 3. Simply push the caddy back into the slot on the PlayStation 3, and then using the handle, push to the left of the PlayStation to fix it into place. Now using the blue head screw, re-screw it back into the caddy to keep the caddy secure when the PlayStation is in use. Finally, reapply the cover plate to the PlayStation 3. Now plug in your USB thumb drive into your PlayStation 3 and turn on your console. You'll be prompted to connect your controller via a USB lead. Once you've done this, you'll be asked to press the PS button. When this message appears, you need to click the Start and Select button at the same time. The console will then go and look on your thumb drive for a folder called Update and the PS3 updat.pub file. After a short delay, you'll be prompted to format your new hard drive. Again, you need to click on the Start and Select button at the same time for at least 5 seconds in order for the PlayStation to format the hard drive. Again, after a short delay, you're prompted that the hard drive is being formatted, and it's showing you the percentage that has been completed so far. Now, depending on the size of the hard drive that you have, will depend on how long it takes to format. Once the hard drive is formatted, your PS3 will then use the PS3 updat.pub file on the thumb drive to update the PS3 with the latest firmware. Press the PS button on the controller. When prompted, check the user agreement and accept. Then press the Enter key to start downloading the software from the thumb drive to your PlayStation 3. Once the update has been installed, your PlayStation 3 will restart. And again, you'll be prompted to connect your controller via the USB lead and then press the PlayStation or PS button. We now need to go through the process of an initial setup, just like we did when we first got our PlayStation. This means we have to set the date as well as the time on our PlayStation 3. We need to create a profile as well as connect the PlayStation 3 back onto the internet either via a network lead or via a wireless access point. Once the initial setup has been completed, your PlayStation will reboot, and you'll be again presented with the PlayStation 3 crossbar menu. You now need to return to the game option, and from the game option you need to locate saved data utility, and you'll see that you have your USB device. So what we need to do is click on that option, and you'll be presented with all of the games that you previously saved to the thumb drive. Now all we need to do is highlight the games that we want to copy, and then choose the copy command, and those games get copied across to the PlayStation 3. Once we've copied all of the games from the thumb drive to the PlayStation 3, we can then install all of the games that we want to play. When we load those games, we should find that our previous game saves will be there as well.